Ladies and gentlemen, recovering emo kids, welcome to Emo Kids Anonymous. I'm your host, Rob LaFoon. Unfortunately, my co-host Amanda could not join me today, but I do my best to hold the fort down and batten down all the hatches as best I can. Today, we're joined by Wayne Snow of Howling at the Earth. Now, if you have the internet on your telephone, which, by the way, internet on your telephone, great time. Love the internet on my phone. But if you have it, you've probably seen Howling at the Earth pop up, maybe from their song Avalanche, maybe just some videos of Wayne ripping shit on that guitar. But either way, hell of a band, hell of a guy, great conversation. We talk about the Sticks of West Virginia, Tracy Chapman, the greatness of Fall Out Boy, Midwest emo, mall emo, everything in between, the connections between film and music. It's a great time. Very intelligent guy, much more intelligent than myself, if I do say. So it's an interesting conversation. Before we get into that, though, obviously, follow us on the internet, emokidsanonymous.com. We got the TikTok, the Instagram, the Twitter, all that stuff you can see down there. We got Discord. You can join that stuff, neverphasenetwork.com. Got all sorts of cool stuff going on over there on the internet and things like that. Go check out our previous episodes. Last week, we released interviews with Almondsville and Madison from Ogbert the Nerd, and also Gabe Saporta from Midtown and Cobra Starship, and our friends over at Protege. Now, if you're familiar with Protege, which I imagine you are, Protege is the all-in-one face serum that'll fix your face, take you from fucky to fresh real quick, okay? So fellas, ladies, non-binary folk in between, if you're hearing this, fix your face, head over to Protege.com, you enter Emo Kids at checkout, you get your first bottle of Protege for only $10. After that, don't worry, I didn't give you the whole first hit for free thing, then after that you got to pay full price. Don't worry, after that, you enter Rob40 at checkout forever, you save 40%, okay? I want to hear you say it. Say, thank you, Rob. Thank you, I appreciate that. Now, with all that being said,
also, nice to meet you. Thanks for having me on.
yeah, no, thanks for coming on. You popped up on my phone all the time. Honestly, Wayne, it was obnoxious. Like, you just kept popping up on my phone. And then we started, like, Catherine started working with us, like, officially, and I think she brought you up or suggested you or something like that. And I was very much like, I've seen that guy on my phone so many fucking times.
Dude,
Like, I was like,
totally
yeah, all right, yeah.
totally get it. It's one of those, like, you're gonna hate me till you love me type of things. You
Oh,
know?
I was never. I was liking you till I loved you. Yeah, no, I right away. I was like, oh, this is tight. It's just like I'm getting like bombarded with like
Yeah.
just every video I see is banned. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like eventually something breaks through. It's like, oh, I remember this
That's
Avalanche
awesome.
song. You know?
Yeah, man. Don't tell Bacon Bits. Oh my god. If you
Okay, well, who's Bacon Bits?
so there's Bacon Bits, Andrew Southworth, and they're just like music marketer label dudes who are just like, if 5 tips to be successful in music, get on TikTok, post like 80 times a day, you know.
I gotta look this guy up. Bacon Bits is
Yeah.
his name.
Yeah, there's like I mean, I follow Andrew Southworth a lot. His thing is mainly like Facebook and Instagram ads to promote music. But they all
Oh,
they're all in, like, I think Bacon Bits like does like Lucy Dacus, like he manages their, or his company does.
interesting.
Yeah.
I've never seen this dude on my feed ever, but he looks like 900 guys I know.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I feel like I know him. Like
Right.
I feel like I feel like he smoked a cigarette in my apartment at one point
Yeah,
in my
probably
early
small
20s.
stuff. You know what people need to do?
Right? Yeah. He's
Are you so
telling me about some movie I'll never see.
are you in Baltimore too? I'm pointing on my computer, but the camera's right there.
No. I'm in LA.
Oh,
No,
okay,
no.
cool.
So you're in Baltimore as well? Yeah, I mean DMV, right?
Oh, so
What's the story here?
yeah, DMV. Well, I'm in West Virginia, but like closer to Harper's Ferry. You've probably heard of Harper's Ferry before. Big like Civil War place.
I've been to West Virginia one time for like 30 minutes,
Oh, what part?
and I don't know. I was seeing this girl whose family lived in Rowersville, Maryland.
Okay, that's probably
So
close.
at some point we drove through, and I remember it was a very it was a very uncomfortable experience for me, and this is gonna be extra ironic coming from the whitest guy you've ever seen with these lights on me, but, like, I saw, like, Confederate flags in the
Yeah.
store. I've never
Well,
seen that shit in my
yeah, yeah,
life.
yep, yep, you get some of that sometimes. But yeah, I'm like that area, like Eastern Panhandle. I'm like an hour and a half from DC though,
Okay.
about an hour and a half from Baltimore too. So yeah, you'll get some Confederate flags and you'll get some progressive people too. It's a very interesting mix, and we all have to learn to live together
Well,
somewhat.
yeah, exactly, you're kinda
Yeah,
crammed in, like, I live in such a bubble here, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I'm like, like, I thought it was like I thought it was silly, like, it's, like, so past the point of being,
yeah,
you know, hateful to being like, "Oh, that they're doing a bit here." Like, is it a tasteful bit? No, but like,
yeah.
yeah, like, and it's
Oh,
like, "Oh, no, it's not
it's
a bit."
it's well, they say the heritage, not hate, but yeah, that's where we're at.
Yeah, I don't know. So, besides, Confederate flag general stores and freeway drives, more importantly, who is who is howling at the earth? Who is Wayne Snow? Where does this journey start here?
Oh man, starts. I mean, I guess I have to go back to when I started playing guitar. Um,
Yeah,
I'm a big anime guy. I'm not sure if you are or not, but you ever heard of a
I've
show?
never fucking I know nothing.
Okay, okay, great, great. But maybe you've heard of Gundam.
I'd know the name, yes.
Gundam. Okay, so from Gundam Giant Robots. Um, so there's this show called Evangelion, and we're not talking about Evangelion. Tiger Wood, awesome, great band. Yeah, I met them.
Oh, yeah, those are my boys, yeah,
Um,
and
so yeah,
girls,
so
yes.
Evangelion, like giant robots. So they were part of a company, I think it's the same company called Anipolex, and they made this show called Fooly Cooly, and Fooly Cooly is like this ADHD fever dream. But and it's like a coming of age story. It's like this 10. I watched the show when I was like 10. Uh, this 10-year-old is like learning about love and relationships and stuff, and you know, but and there's like giant robots that come out of his head and shit. But instead of like swords or whatever, they use guitars to fight. And so that was like my
Sick.
intro yeah, that was like my introduction to wanting to play guitar because of the show that just
Hell
resonated with
yeah.
me so much. Fully cool. You have FLCL. You should check it out. It's definitely it's like I said, it's an ADHD fever dream, but in the first time you watch it, especially through the eyes of a 10-year-old, you're like, what the heck is going on? And then the second time you're like, okay, there's like something going on here. Which, it might
I'm looking at this now, this is tight. So
yeah,
this motherfucker's got like a Rickenbacker
exactly
bass.
the Rickenbacker. Yeah.
Like, it's not even like, it's almost to scale even,
Yeah,
damn,
yeah.
like
So it was like, for a show that came out in 2000, 2002, and and the band who did the sound, it's only like 6 episodes. So it's like this 6-episode OVA uh
the fuck?
that just throw stuff at you really quick, and they're using guitars, and it's very random, but like it keeps your attention. And like this band called the Pillows did the whole soundtrack, and it's amazing. Like I think I compare them to Weezer all the time, but they're a little bit more melodic. So
Wow.
yeah, so for the longest time it was like this 6-episode thing that just came and went and just hit you like a brick, and you're like, what was that? And then it just gained such a cult following that like 10, 15 years later, they decided to do 2 more seasons. Um, and they're still
Did they
cool.
live up to the was it, like, worth
It's
it,
hard.
or
Like the other seasons I watched when I was like 25. And so from a nostalgic point, like the soundtrack is still amazing. The pillows are still amazing. They broke up recently, which is sad, but
I just saw, yeah, disbanded in 2025. Yeah, they
yeah,
had a hell of a run,
yeah.
89 to yeah, basically my whole life.
So it's like it's there. They kind of went into the story a little bit more. But also part of the charm of the first episode, or the first 6 episodes, was kind of that it just threw stuff at you, and it was less about the plot and more so of, like, the character development, you know?
Okay.
So, fully cool. Watch for the first 6 episodes and sit with it, and then a week later, watch them again.
Then go back to it.
Yeah.
So 10-year-old you sees this anime where they're playing guitars, and you're
Not
like,
playing, fighting. They're fighting with guitars.
so they're not even play. It's just straight weaponry.
It's straight weaponry. So, like, yeah, my first
Sick.
intention was not to play this thing. It was to just be a
Mm-mm.
badass with it, you know?
Yeah, just pose with it and
And
fucking
then, like,
wield it and
I
shit.
I got the guitar and I was like, "Well, I might as well learn how to play this thing," and, the rest is history.
Then the boring shits. Yeah, back to the fighting with it.
If
Yeah.
I can't get
Have you
this, I might as
Yeah, I
well.
was gonna say you haven't done that yet, have you?
I don't think so, not on purpose. I feel
No.
like there was a
N
time I was trying to do a guitar flip and I smacked myself in the chin, and for those
Yeah,
who don't know what a guitar flip is, it's when people swing it around their waist and it does
classic move.
it's like the kick flip of live shows.
Yeah, you gotta figure out that one early.
Oh,
You also, if you're watching this and you're a beginner, you need to make sure you have, secure strap locks as well.
oh yeah, yeah, right.
Otherwise, you will wreck your day.
A whole lot of duct tape.
Yeah, duct tape. Yeah, I don't think I knew about strap locks till, like,
Yeah,
2008.
right?
Yeah, we were duct taping.
I feel like I always do things the hard way, and I kinda still live by that. It's character development,
Yeah, no,
for sure.
sometimes you gotta take the scenic route,
Mhm.
even with a guitar flip. So when does what the early years you started to play guitar, like, I mean, Weezer, obviously, I can hear some Weezer. Like, what are the early,
Yeah,
like,
Weezer kinda
musical
came late.
influences?
I came into Weezer, so, I started listening to music through MTV, other than, like, what I've heard. So the first song I ever learned how to play was, "Give Me One Reason" by Tracy Chapman. It's like, you wouldn't expect
Sick.
that, but yeah,
No.
Tracy Chapman's it's amazing. Love her songwriting.
Yeah,
Uh,
holy shit.
so that was the first song I ever learned how to play, and, I think around that time, like, American Idiot, that album was becoming popular. So, like, I learned a lot of rock music through MTV, like, first being Green Day, moving on to Fall Out Boy, um, until, I found Coheed and Cambria, which is, like, one
I was
of
gonna
my
say
top 3 favorite bands, like, probably number 1 in that top 3 too.
I was gonna say, what are the other 2 then? 'Cause, yeah, I feel like it's gotta be, from the outside at least, there's some heavy Coheed influence.
Oh, Coheed all the way, 100%, like, yeah, I love concept albums. I love when things have, like, a sequence, end goal, like, a purpose. Um, so yeah, definitely number 1. I don't know, I guess number 2 would be Bayside, Bayside?
Wow.
Yeah. So Bayside's
Yeah, hell
actually
yeah.
the reason they are the band that made me, like, realize I wanted to play music full time. Yeah. And so
Interesting.
I
Shout
found
out
them.
Anthony Ranieri.
Yeah, yeah, Anthony Ranieri, yeah. So yeah, they're the band that made me realize I wanted to start playing music, and that's probably when I was like 13. Um, and then third band, I don't know, probably the Pillows.
I was gonna say that's pretty yeah, they got you early, that forming a
Yeah,
band, yeah.
even like it, but I kind of put the Pillows and Weezer in this like same kind of like nerd rock or geek rock genre
Yeah.
that kind of heavily influenced me. Um, kind of like that I don't want to call it heavy distorted tone, but you know what I mean?
No, absolutely, it's just very fuzzy. It's the Cars done with louder guitars kind
Yeah,
of thing, you know
it's
what I
like
mean?
okay,
Like, it's
like
power
so
poppy.
that first distorted guitar in Say It Ain't So, like, you know what I mean? That's the feeling that I want to achieve every time I write a song.
Sick.
You know what I mean?
It's that classic Pixies, Nirvana, quiet loud, you have to, like, really nail the quiet, then
Yeah,
when,
but
like, it's just it's so simple.
not necessarily the quiet loud thing, but just, like, if I hear that specific tone, I'm like, "This is a good song." Almost like a, um, what's that genre called? Um, not slowcore, but, anyways, but yeah. Yeah. Which is funny because that's not really the music I make, but
Just rubbed off a little.
it definitely is a huge influence, like, achieving that kind of vibe, for sure.
Probably, like, the pop sensibilities of it kind of leak in.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
At what age did you realize the Pillows were an actual band? Like, are they portrayed as a real band, or is it like a Josie Pussycat situation?
Oh, man, it was probably sometime in college where I was like, "Man, what was that band from that show?" You know? That, like, I kind of really started getting into it and realizing, "Oh, it's The Pillows." So that was probably, like, 20, 21.
Damn, so good, yeah, a good 10 years went by.
Yeah, Yeah, So it's like
You're old enough where it wouldn't have, like, messed you up, or it's not like a Santa Claus thing, like, by that point.
No.
Yeah, like, yeah,
No, no,
yeah, that's
never.
actually
And
cool,
it's
I
just
can
like the
find new
way that
music.
the music works in the show, it is heavily a part of the show. With like the motifs and when like certain things happen, you hear certain songs to like the theme song to like the ending theme song to like the next time on da 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 and there's a certain song playing.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
I'm always like, I went to school for film actually. So music and cinema have always gone like hand in hand for me, where like when I'm writing something, I'm like, what does this look like? In my brain, like what actions are happening? I'm essentially like making a music video in my head as I'm
In your
writing.
head.
Hmm.
Interesting. Your artwork for basically every single and across the board, it's very, like, along the same lines, it's like, thematically similar. Is that your artwork there? Like, what is the theme there?
I can't draw, but I've within the past 2 years, I've met this really talented artist who gets my vibe, who goes by maybe, maybe not, maybe not. Mainly active on TikTok. So
It's
definitely.
kind of a confusing name.
Yeah, maybe is like maybe, maybe not. I think it's spelled like two different ways, but like I post their stuff all the time because we've been working together so much and they really like the music. And so they've gifted me their talents whenever I have a single or like an album coming out. Um, but yeah, but going back to the cinematics of things and concept arts, there there is some kind of like story there that like I definitely want to flesh out at some point. I'm not sure what it is at this point. I've been mainly working on the music at this point, and
Yeah,
that's just kind of what's calling to me is just work on the music. And I have a little kind of story put together, like a first draft. Don't know how much of that I'm going to actually incorporate in it, but what you see in the artwork matters, and it's a part of that cinematic concept that's like one day it might be fleshed out.
yeah,
Hopefully
we're
it'll be
we're
fleshed out.
planting seeds for now.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah.
So when do you start, like, writing music then?
Oh, I think I wrote my first song, I was,
Does
like, 14, something like that,
Okay. Was
really.
it any good?
No, of course not.
No, of course not, yeah,
No, I
yeah.
mean, maybe I'll bring it back and just, like, revamp it. That's, like, kinda my other favorite thing is revamping songs, that I were horrible at one point, but anyways, that's when I wrote my first song, and then, I was in my first band at 15, and, I was with this dude that I used to skate with, and he was like, "By the way, hey, you play guitar? Like, I play drums, just, like, come over one day and let's jam." And, we would just do a bunch of, like, Foo Fighters and Avenged Sevenfold covers, like, I've badly learned throughout the years, until we just started writing music together and playing shows pretty often, so that's kind
And
of.
that's the Howling at the Earth we know today
No,
still.
no, no, that was when I
No,
was like no,
that was a
absolutely
different
not.
band.
So, yeah, then, that was my first band. My second band, uh, was a band called Fable Circuit, and that was with me and 2 other dudes who one of them I knew for a long time when I met through college, and we would just go to the same open mic in Shepherdstown, West Virginia every week, and, um, the bass player really encouraged us all to get together one day and just be like, "Let's see what happens," and, I played with the drummer, who also played guitar, like, we would sing together and stuff all the time just for fun, so we knew how we worked together pretty well, and then that turned into something semi-big. That's when I got my first, like, studio time with that band,
Mhm.
and we put out a record, in 2022 that sadly, around the time after we put it out, like we kind of, I don't want to say broke up, but we kind of just disbanded and not really doing anything. Which it sucks because that record's really sick. But that's just how it goes sometimes. But
Right, those are the ones that got away musically.
yeah, so we were trying to navigate how to play shows and stuff. And I think it's hard for a band to learn how to do that because it would just end up with us playing the same show at the same venue, about 3 times a year.
Yeah.
And so then we started working on the record, and that was a big slow burn. Shout out to Mystery Ton Studios because Kenny is amazing. Um, so it ended up us working on this record for like 3 years just because of the engineer being so busy and finances and stuff. And then our last year working on the record is when COVID hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I kind of like pocketed the name Howling at the Earth. Like someone gave me a shirt with a werewolf on the moon, and then their dad was like Howling at the Earth, and I was like, I want to pocket that. And so I was kind of like holding on to that name for a while, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna start Howling at the Earth as my solo project and kind of be more like Bad Books, Manchester Orchestra,
Yeah.
yeah, City and Color type of thing. And just kind of write acoustic songs and not make much of it. Like I had like the DistroKid artist open, so I was like, let's just write songs. I have these songs, like let me just write stuff. And then COVID hit, and Fable Circuit was kind of slowing down. Um, and I think it was just kind of like a respect thing where I was like, okay, I'm gonna write acoustic songs, but like to keep this creative with this band, I'm not gonna write like full band songs.
Yes.
Yeah. But then COVID
You're
hit.
trying to be respectful.
I
Yeah.
tried yeah, I was trying to like, keep it all in one basket and put this energy to that and this energy to that. But again, then COVID hit. And I was sitting by like in my room alone for a long time. And I just said, whatever, I'm just gonna go full force with this project. Like, I'm not gonna play shows, so I'm gonna make these songs as hard as I possibly can for me at the moment. And just put stuff out. And that turned into my songs Gaslight, which was well, I put out like kind of like a semi record before that, but I don't want to talk about that. Eventually I want to redo all those songs. But I don't really count Howling at the Earth. What Howling at the Earth is now was an EP I put out, and that was called Second Wave because I put it out in
Mhm.
2021, 2020, whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's
Is
when I
the
put out.
second wave of COVID?
Yeah, yeah. So
Incredible.
yeah,
Incredible. I was curious about the name when I was like, "Oh," but it's like I thought it was like an emo thing. It's COVID. That's
yeah. It's
incredible.
COVID because it was during the second wave that I started writing the
Wow.
songs. So that's when I like was heavily listening to like Tiny Moving Parts and Movements. Oh my god, I was listening to that one album with like the forest, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
God, that album was on repeat for a
Sick.
good while during that time. Especially if you listen to my song, It'll Get Better. That's maybe I'm wasting my time. That's fine. Where have I been? You know what I'm talking about? Uh,
Uh-huh.
yeah, that song was like in my ear hard. But anyways, yeah, so I put out Second Wave, and that's my songs like Gaslight and Accountability, and This Is Not the Party I Wanted. And I started just going in full force. Like I can't play drums, so the drums on that are like programmed, but I play all the bass and like I play all the guitar and the vocals, obviously. And I had no intentions of playing any of these songs live because I still had like the Fable
Yeah.
Figure
You're
stuff.
still committed to your other lady, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. um
Metaphorically.
yeah. And then something had come up where someone had asked me to do like an acoustic thing, and I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna play some of these songs. And then NPR's Tiny Desk came around, that year. I want to say in like 2021. And I was like, well, this one song, Gaslight, seems to be getting a lot of popularity. Like, let me put that song in. So I got some guys together and we learned that song. And yeah, I mean, didn't win, but NPR did repost it. So that was really cool.
The when they do the contest to see who gets to play, like they do the
Yeah,
Tiny
the
Desk
Tiny Desk.
submissions.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like I didn't win, but they did repost it on Instagram. So that was a win
that's a
for me.
win.
That's
That's
a
a
huge
win.
win
Yeah,
for me. And so it just kind of evolved that way. And then, some more show opportunities came in and Fable Circuit, like, still didn't seem like we were doing anything, but I essentially had this band now, of people who were playing my songs, so I just kept going and going and going. And yeah, and that's kind of how Howling at the Earth became like the official thing.
sick. Just kind
Yeah.
of gradually became inevitable that that had to be the project.
Yeah. 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 100%. And it's when you're in a band with a bunch of people and you have no idea what you're doing. I mean, specifically for me, it just becomes hard to do things because you want to search for approval,
Hmm.
you know? Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, like, whether you want to try to do this show or submit this to this, like, because I didn't want to step on anybody's shoes.
Hmm.
So I think that's another reason why this project and just like the technology of getting music out is a lot different and more accessible.
It's changed a lot in the last not even 10 years, like five
Yeah.
years, 4 years.
Yeah.
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 Even just awareness of things, like you mentioned DistroKid and stuff like that,
Mhm.
like more regular people, like, I mean, it's existed for 20 years almost, but it's people are more aware of these things, it's easier, especially with COVID, like,
It's funny.
this also, there's, like, this as, like, raw like, back in the day, you had to have, like, a super slick sounding record,
Yeah.
and I think there was guitars off the radio for so long that there was no more benchmark for, like, slick rock records.
Oh,
So you
yeah.
don't have to have that anymore kind of thing.
For
You're not getting
sure.
compared to fucking Maroon 5 and My Chem anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
I
it's
mean, but
just
even
I've
like,
never.
you listen to some old My Chemical Romance stuff and like the quality it sounds like, you know, basement studios type stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like Jeff Rickley recorded that in his basement in New
Yeah.
Jersey kind of thing. Yeah, it doesn't they don't sound like Warner Brothers for yeah, till halfway through the second record kind of thing.
Yeah. And that's like another thing with like the whole music, like the music journey right now. It's so like incorporative of, not just the music, but who you are and like how you grow because all that's online now, you know?
Mhm.
And people can track that back if it's up. And so there are the songs that I put out when it was just me and like a USB microphone somewhere. Someone digs deep enough. Um,
Yeah, it's all every little thing can be told. At least there can be like they can do like a rough connect the dots of like all of our lives, especially if you do any sort of like public facing stuff in any way. Like, yeah,
yeah,
they can link it all. Everything you've made or created is like out there for
yeah.
judgment for the world, you know?
And honestly, I feel like it's always been like that, but now it's just so personal because you don't need a label to kind of put yourself out
Yeah.
anymore. And then,
There's less middlemen. Plus too, like
mhm,
back in the day, maybe if like a record's coming out or something like that, you get some like press stuff, like, and some interviews and some magazine things, but like you wouldn't just see videos that people would be making like from their house and stuff like that. Like these, it
mhm,
kind of starts becoming all encompassing, like you're saying, where it's your whole life becomes performance art almost,
yeah.
and it's like where does the line stop and end?
Yeah. And that's like, so many people are talking about like AI music and how they're afraid that's going to take over the industry.
Impossible, yeah.
It's impossible because like that's why we had things like MTV and VH1 and all that stuff because it became to the point where we're like, what how does someone make something like this? Like
Right,
and
yeah.
that's why I feel like sometimes I don't feel like an artist. I don't feel like a musician, even though like those are like the tools that I use. And like I'm very like I've never been a gearhead. Like I'm very interested in like technique and like how to make something sound like pristine. But when it comes down to it, I feel like what I'm doing is trying to talk,
Mhm.
like I'm trying to make those connections. And it just so happened for whatever reason, whether it's like genetics or um nurture versus nature, I found music to best describe how I'm feeling and how to connect to other people about how I'm feeling, you know?
It's kind of like, you're talking about, okay, like, compare it to film or something like that, like, if you wanna be as if you're that direct in a movie or any sort of thing like that, it becomes, like, a little too, like, hat on a hat, like, it starts getting clunky if you say the obvious thing out loud, whereas
Yeah,
with music, you can, like
yeah.
you can take it one way totally, or you can just say the obvious thing out loud, and then you can repeat it 4 times and then do it again after the verse kind of thing, and it's
Yeah,
like,
and that's like
this gets embraced.
that goes back to me kind of saying that, like, I'm kind of making a scene when I'm writing these
Yes.
songs because, like, when I'm writing music, when I'm writing lyrics, I I don't know personally what it's about. I know how it makes me feel, like, I know how these words make me feel, I know how these words together form a coherent thought, but, I don't know exactly where that's coming from, and, I guess it's kind of more so like an open diary when I write these songs.
Yes. You're just kind of doing a, stream of consciousness sort of
Yeah,
practice.
yeah. It's funny because I feel like once someone told me that, like, when you're writing a song, that's, like, the last thing you should do is write like it's an open diary, but
Interesting.
I really don't agree with that because, maybe it's because I don't really make pop music. If you're making a pop song, you kinda wanna make it as digestible as possible, and maybe that is the separation between, like, entertainer, artist, songwriter,
Yeah,
you know? For me, it's always been about the shared experience.
interesting.
Yeah.
So, I think, whoever said that's full of shit, by the way.
Oh, no,
I fucking
I don't wanna say
I
that
wasted
they are
I w
phenomenal musicians. They're a phenomenal I wanna throw that out there. They are amazing, and I think whatever your whatever you feel like you should do in your songwriting is that's what you should do, and
Yeah, we can say all this and then a song that's just like, "I'm Blue Dabba Dee" or whatever can come
Yeah,
along and
yeah,
can just, like
exactly.
which
And
maybe that
and
motherfucker is honestly saying
and in the
something
long
pretty
run,
deep.
whose song is gonna be remembered in the next 20 years?
Right? Yeah, like, who left like, I think of the Thong Song more often than I think of
Yeah.
"Yesterday" by the Beatles, you know what I
Okay, well,
mean? Like,
okay,
I don't
wait. Song, uh, first of all, those runs, that key
the r
change.
the weird little flipped in, like, Eleanor Rigby sample, I think it is, kinda thing in there, like, it's oh my god, no,
That
Cisco
song is like
yeah.
Heroes of the 2000s, like,
Oh,
Heroes is
when
my favorite
you
song.
mentioned MTV Spring Break 2000, I think it is. It's in San Diego, and it's down the street from, I'd ride my bike at the boardwalk every day, and they're inside there, and Cisco would film this show, and I don't remember what it's called, but it's just like a dance show or just like Cisco walking around to like chicks dancing and just like looking at their ass. It's classic. Yeah, yeah. You really had to be there to understand that this was like an acceptable thing at the time. Just him being like, damn,
Yeah,
she got dumps like a truck or whatever, but like
yeah.
little 10-year-old me was like, fuck, I wish I could be over there, like shaking my shit for
Yeah.
Cisco, like fucking
Oh my god.
there's the classic meme, I can't remember, it's like Jesus walked on water so Cisco could walk on bitches or something like
Oh
that.
my god.
There's a Vice has these really cool I don't know if you've ever seen them. They have these, like
Yeah, like
how the
Vice,
song is made.
internet thing, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a, network founded by a jabroni alt-writer, but at its core,
Really?
it was cool. One of the Vice guys, yeah, he one of the Vice guys, like, started the Proud Boys too.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
Gavin McInnes is his name,
No
Canadian
way.
guy. He's one of the
Really?
yeah, because Vice has existed for a long like, it started in, like, the '90s in Canada, and then, like, the 2010s, it pops off, but he leaves, and he's just, like, really into, like, yeah, dudes should be punching each other, fucking marga, marga, marga,
Is
yeah,
it still like
real.
that?
He doesn't have anything to do with that. I haven't seen this dude's name in a while, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
I'd
like, what
imagine
Vice is putting out now, I would never expect that.
No, yeah, no, he's been gone, yeah. But
Wow.
yeah, all right grifters aside, they have this great like little series like on how songs are made, and they have one on Last Resort by Papa Roach and
Right.
Michelle Branch has one, but they have one with Cisco where yeah, they break down like the making of the thong song and like one of the big issues I think like they couldn't get the sample cleared, so they like had to remake it themselves with
Mm.
strings kind of thing and
Oh
like
yeah.
flip the notes so it wasn't, they weren't using a Beatles song.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure I got that all backwards there, but
Oh no,
it's
I see.
I'm gonna
I didn't
send
even
to you.
know that, but that makes sense.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I'm gonna send it to you. Speaking of MTV though, do you remember what's the first music video you ever saw was?
Oh, first music video. First music video. So like fun. Another fun fact about me, like when I was a kid, I don't want to say I hated music, but like if I was watching a Disney movie and they started singing, I'd be like, "Come on, get to the plot."
It's a little vulnerable too. It's a little weird, right? Like I'm just watching these people si especially in like a Disney movie, like it's a little you guys are just fucking
I mean,
why are you guys doing this?
obviously I love it now, like I get it, but so no, I don't think I could tell you. I mean, I remember watching like it, the first like music videos I remember like tuning into. I was probably like 9 years old, and it was like a whole collection of like Michael Jackson's like music video like lists, and we watched the whole
Yeah.
thing. But like his music videos were like they were cinematic, you
I was
know.
gonna say that's yeah, probably yeah, that would
So
appeal to
that
you
checks out
regardless.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah, that's probably a pretty formidable moment in your life if you look back at it. Yeah,
yeah.
that might be where the
Oh
film
yeah, yeah, you're
school and
right. Yeah.
music gear debt has come from. You can blame that right there.
I
Like,
think it's you know what? I think it also stems from the point of like I got so sick of reruns when I was a kid. Like me and my girlfriend have kind of like a joke, because like she watches Grey's Anatomy religiously, but she's afraid
just
to
keeps watching it, repeating it.
yeah, but she's afraid to finish it. So, but she'll also fall asleep like way before I do. So like I'll get to like season 19 and be like, I'm finally catching up. And then she'll wake up and be like, oh, we're going back to season two. And I'm like, oh my God. Uh,
God.
I mean, it's fine. Like I love it. It's a great show, like honestly. Um, but when I was
They
a
got
kid,
20 seasons?
yeah, yeah. So
Damn.
I mean, like, I kind of like come in and out. So like I've probably seen season two. So but I always skip the shooting episode. It's a bit too much for me. Um,
The
sorry.
hospital there's a shooting?
Oh my dude, Grey's Anatomy does everything.
I swear I've seen, like, a few
Dude,
episodes. I know people
there's like a
talk like,
whole like
damn.
Lost segment that we'll skip that too. We don't watch that. um, but anyways, going back to the kid, I watched a lot of Dragon Ball Z growing up and a lot of Toonami. And at some point they run out of episodes or they're trying to drag it out. So like it would always just make me angry when they would go back to episode one. And I'm like, dude, like, come on. So I think I like that, like I like the story, I like the resolution. And when I saw music videos would kind of have a story, it would kind of fix that need of like needing some kind of resolution or keep me wanting more.
Yes.
hmm
You're waiting for a payoff that you
Yeah,
just
and
weren't
that's part
getting.
of what really got me into Coheed too at first. The first song I heard by them was like The Suffering, and seeing that music
Interesting.
video, and that was cool. It was like centaurs and shit. It didn't make any sense at all. The
You're
mu-
like, "This kinda plays into everything I'm looking for right here."
it
Like, this
does for
feels like
sure, for sure. Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Yeah. That was Catherine's first too. Wow. I think my first Coheed song would be it was a Warped Tour compilation CD,
Oh
and it
yeah.
was Delirium Trigger, and I think straight up, I think maybe I thought he was like Claudio was a girl maybe, like, I didn't like,
Yeah, no, for
I
sure.
was listening to, like, Rancid and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I didn't know motherfuckers could sing like that.
Dude, that was my thing. That was my thing. I remember one day, I think I was like 17 or 18. I think I was like listening to Pierce the Veil, and I was like, okay, like what should I do with this music thing? How do I stand out? And I was like, okay, you're not the best singer and you're not the best guitar player, but you can do both pretty well. So just like combine those two, and like that just
And
kind of game became the gimmick, you know? Not gimmick, but you know, what started the evolution.
I think with songwriting too, like, is if you can write a song, like, like, not talent, but, like, like, direct technical proficiency at one thing starts mattering less, because
Hmm.
like, you're in control of what your domain is, you know?
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. And you know, I feel like you listen to certain genres where you're like halfway in this genre and halfway in that genre, and you're like, why aren't I doing more?
Mhm.
You're, you know, it's like the Amadeus part, um, when he's like playing the song, and the dude's like, "There's too many notes," and the guy's
Exactly.
like, and Amadeus is like, "Oh, it's perfect. What are you talking about?" And I feel like for the longest time, like that was me. Like I was Amadeus, thinking like more notes means a better song.
Yeah, trying to make it more than it needs to be.
Yeah, and that's definitely not the case now. You know, I immediately, it's like I feel like when you're writing, okay, I don't really listen to John Mayer, but like the way that he describes songwriting was like amazing to me.
Mhm.
You know, because if you're a songwriter, you're also a listener. Um, and when you're able to write, this is what he says, me paraphrasing. When you're able to write, it's like that in between of being able to be the songwriter and the listener in real time.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And like when you're liking what you're writing and it's like, you know, it's like playing a game of Jenga to me. I was playing a gig the other day and someone was playing Jenga. That's part why it popped in my head. But it's like playing a
Are
game
you
of
playing
Jenga.
at a microbrewery? Were they playing one of the where they got the board games and shit like
It was
that?
a vineyard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
close enough.
But yeah, you know, it's like building the block or pulling the piece out and it's still standing, you know?
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's I think too with, like, there's this Netflix documentary called This Is Pop, and they have an episode about, like, the Swedish pop, pop writers and stuff like that, and,
Okay.
like, they talk about, like, the number one rule back then, like, for, like, Dennis Pop and Max Martin and those guys was, like, it can never be boring. Like, the song can never get like, and it's you as a listener, like, if you get bored for a second, something has to happen, you know? And when you're first, like, writing songs, like you said, like, you get kind of overly complicated because you feel like there has to be more there, but then
Yeah.
if you, like, take us it's like there's those memes where it's like if you've heard 10 songs by a band, your favorite one is their biggest song. It's like you've heard 100 is something random, but then when you've heard 1,000, it goes back to the first one again, like, you
Yeah.
almost need to, like, dumb yourself down again to be like, "Oh, wait, like, I really you could do shit with 2 chords,
Yeah. God.
or I can just
Okay.
repeat these 2 parts," like, I don't have to there doesn't need
So
to be something here?
being in West Virginia, like I end up playing, you know, I've hosted many of open mics around here. And I end up playing with a lot of like, you know, country artists or like bluegrass artists, banjo players. One of my favorites, guy who goes by Strip Mall Ballads, probably one of the best songwriters that I've met. And
Sick name.
yeah, he's such a cool dude. Like, you should definitely look him up afterwards. Uh, I mean, he's a phenomenal player too. Like, he can play anything. But anyways, and I have this other friend. She was like Katie Powderly, or that's actually her real name, but also a songwriter. And I haven't seen her in years, but she invited me to an open mic probably a couple weeks ago, and this would have been like the first time I've heard her play in a long time. And she's like all country songs, you know, probably like 3, 4 chords. Um, but watching her play, like her songs were phenomenal. Like, and then you know, a lot of it
Mhm.
was just like the songwritings and the lyrics because she's like a storyteller for sure. But even in like
Yes.
the musicianship, like I feel like what she did in 3 chords, I have to do in like 50 with like guitar soloing over the lyrics and stuff like that. So I almost like have kudos to people that can do that with like simple songwriting. Well, I don't want to say simple songwriting, but you know, a more
No, there's an art to the simplicity of it too, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So it's like this whole thing is like it doesn't make sense to me, but it also makes sense to me, you know? And a lot of it is like preference for sure. But
When you say mention the country too, it's funny because like in my head, like a lot of times, like country musicianship is surprisingly good. Like people don't realize how. Oh, hold on. What's up, bro?
Stuff is coming.
Yeah, you need my phone?
10 hours.
10 hours? Your mom will be here in like 20 minutes. Anyways, so you also like no, but country artists have like a very stupid level of like musicianship a lot of the times too, where like, yeah,
yeah.
it's three or four chords they're hanging on, but like just the tightness of the band or
Mm-hmm.
like the licks and stuff like that are
Mm-hmm.
so like
Yeah.
surprisingly good.
And you know what? I feel like a lot of that probably definitely has instilled something on me. Like I remember
Mhm.
I was like posting just like some guitar riffs on like Reddit, and some guy was like,
Bold.
yeah. Well, there's like
Yeah.
it was like into like a Midwest emo forum. So people
Okay.
were nicer there. Um and someone was like, "Oh, yeah, like you're playing it's almost like banjo like." And I was like, "God damn it." Like
Mhm.
I can't get away from it. But like when you
You're
really think
products of your environment. Yeah, that West Virginia is gonna
yeah.
sleek through.
But when you think about it though, and like I'm not sure if you're into like Midwest emo or like I guess
Yeah,
like bands like Mom Jeans who are from California, so that's interesting.
yeah, yeah, technically, yeah, San Franciscan, I believe, yeah.
It's funny how the genre has evolved and changed. Um,
Right, I think
y-
of the best bands of, like, of that, like, I guess, I mean, sports, they're from Massachusetts, Mom Jeans are from California,
yeah,
American football, I guess, are, like, Tennessee.
yeah, and then Tiny Moving
Yeah.
Parts, they're from the Midwest.
There's a handful.
There's a handful. I mean, and they were kind of like not my introduction, but like my first listen of being like, oh, this is what I consider Midwest emo is Tiny Moving Parts because that's just like what spoke to me.
I
But
think that's fair.
yeah, um, but really that to me that does derive from country a little bit. If you really listen to like the riffs and stuff, those are like in my definition, but not an official definition, pop country riffs.
Wow. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're very right.
Yeah, it's banjo music. It really is.
Wow. I
Yeah,
just like the, like yeah, just
yeah.
like the amount of hammer-ons and little slides and stuff like that
Yep.
too.
Mhm.
Speaking of guitar stuff, you might be the first person I've ever seen who has guitar tabs available on their website. I thought that was the sickest shit I've ever seen in my life.
That's cool, dude. Yeah. I mean, if you know how to do something and you have the time to do it, might as well, right?
Might as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because like,
And going what's that? Keep going, sorry.
no, just like, and I've seen people do that before. Um, but it's also kind of like that visual thing of seeing how something's happening while it's happening. Um,
Sick.
yeah, so that's cool.
Going from Midwest emo to mall emo, you do a cover of "Sugar We're Going Down,"
Oh yeah, dude.
which breaks my heart that Amanda's not here because that's her favorite. I mean, I love Fall Boy too,
Really?
but Amanda's pretty obsessive, so, like, bad timing for her
Oh
to be on PTO.
no.
But, personally, I think "Sugar We're Going Down." Listen, no disrespect to the three named white guy that wrote the other national anthem, but I think if we want America to unite and, prosper and maybe take that next step into becoming a superpower again, maybe "Sugar We're Going Down" should be the theme song.
Dude, sugar we're
I think
go
that's the best song of that era.
Sugar We're Going Down to me is the emo anthem. Uh,
Thank you.
yeah, I know, I would 100% agree. And, some diehard emos would probably say is like some brand new song or something, or definitely My Chemical Romance.
Yeah,
And
some of
My
the yeah,
Chemical
some
Romance
yeah.
probably is the official anthem, like Helena. But Sugar We're Going Down, like that brought us. I mean, we had Patrick Stump like writing emo songs in a polo. you know,
Yeah.
you know, bridge the bridge the gap. Like,
And it's wild too, because we went from I even think like I'm rewatching the OC right now, and it's funny to see like I'm thinking like when I'm really little, like early 2000s, like you kind of want to be like this like fucking macho cool dude. Like the guys in the movies are like the cool guys, like on the
yeah,
football team, like you kind of want to be this, but then like it kind of switches to where like, oh no, we need to kind of be dorks now. We need to stop calling each other fucking,
they capitalize on the
fucked up
80s nerd,
names,
you know?
right?
Yeah, like the hot 80s nerd.
It was yeah, they're like, we're gonna do the Revenge of the Nerds thing. We're gonna take
Yeah,
out the weird part. The weird part's still gonna exist kind of behind the scenes, but like we're gonna take that out and just like kind of, yeah, you guys can be cool now.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
oh
no.
shit.
So, so that was like my whole middle school, and then like into high school experience was like, and then those vocals, they kind of pioneered like the soul vocals into like emo music too. Like your
It's
welcome dance,
That's so funny.
you know.
I I literally today had this thought in my head where I was like, like if we had Patrick Stump and that this is pop thing, second time I'm bringing this up. We watched it last week,
Yeah.
but there's a part in there where Usher approaches T-Pain in the back of a plane on the way to the Grammys or something like that, and basically says to T-Pain, where he's like, you kind of fucked up music for the rest of us. And T-Pain like has like a existential crisis. It's fucked up. Justice for T-Pain. Not very nice to Usher. But like, I'm like, if I
Wait,
had
he
like
actually
Patrick
said
Stump on
that?
here, I'd be like,
Was that
yeah, it's fucked up. Like, yeah, it wasn't very nice. No, it wasn't very nice.
what the hell? Also, T-Pain is
Yeah.
like, probably one of the coolest people and a
T-Pain's a
phenomenal
shit,
singer.
right? He's a sweetheart. He
Who's
seems like an angel.
Oh, Usher had that like Justin Bieber energy,
Usher was mad. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
probably, this is at this point, Usher's fallen off. Like, and T-Pain, everything's on the radio, and he
Like Usher,
probably has seen,
he kind of got it when he was really young too, He,
yeah,
anyways,
yeah,
just kind
no.
of like
Oh,
connect that Justin Bieber comment.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Justin. Justin, if
What's
you're a
up,
fan of emo and you're watching this at the
Justin?
49-minute mark, you're welcome to come on the show. While I'm asking Justin for favors, would you like a feature on a song, or you're like indifferent?
No, I mean like whatever. Fuck that. No. Wait, what are
No,
you
okay.
asking?
Justin, while we have Justin Bieber here, would you want a feature
Oh
from
yeah.
him? Are you
Whatever,
interested in a
whatever.
collab?
No, he's good. He's all right. It's all right.
There we go. But what I was gonna say is like for Patrick is like I'd say to Pat, like you kind of fucked it up for the rest of us. Like, because before Patrick, I feel like in our genre, you
Yeah.
didn't have to sing well.
Yeah.
And then like that dude came along and it's like, oh shit, you can tell like I can't sing very, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you just had to do like the Mark Hoppus or you could do a Mark or a Tom. Maybe if you're really crazy, do like a Jordan from Newfound Glory. And
Yeah.
then if you're doing something more emo, you're
Oh,
just kind of screaming. And then this dude comes along and he's got runs.
yeah.
Fuck that.
For
Fuck
sure.
that guy.
Oh, nah, yeah, no, for sure. Well, yeah, no, yeah, I've seen that.
Change the game, but like
They
legit.
really did. But it's like not that. Like their instrumentals were like really thought out too. And
Hmm.
I, so like if anything, they were a gateway drug.
Absolutely. Like you talk about like Sugar, for example, how much those guitars where he's just like they're chugging in like drop C. Like you can't tell me a kid's not hearing that and thinking like, well, that's kind of cool. And then they end up listening to something actually a little heavier,
Yeah, yeah, I know for
Like,
sure.
yeah,
Especially in
God bless Fall Out Boy.
that music video, and that was around the time, I think everything changed and around the time when talking about movies now, when uh I mean it started with Juno, but when Superbad came out,
I knew you were gonna say Super Bad. God
Superbad
damn, I knew it.
Superbad changed everything. Then everyone started wearing cardigans and thick rimmed glasses. But
Greatest film of all time. Juno, yeah. I mean, there was film, like Garden State and stuff like that, but like Superbad was so like they were such normie films too. Like you kind of had to be a weirdo to be like on the Garden State tip. You know what I mean? It
yeah,
wasn't
no, that
quite
was
as
like
like whereas like everybody in
Scrubs
that age
also
range, you
got me
saw
through high
Superbad.
school, so it's crazy that I haven't seen Garden State yet.
I was
Like,
gonna say, plus there's already like the Zach Braff ties too
yeah,
here, or that's
he's coming
Scrubs.
out. See,
That's
another
not
reason
great.
why I think emo music's making a big comeback right now. Scrubs is coming back. Let's see. They just announced so many tours lately.
Yeah.
And now emo music's making a big comeback right now.
Yeah, no, we coming up. It's very much like you said too, where it's like people came out of the pandemic, and before the pandemic, we need to remember before the pandemic, there was a 10-year period here where I would say early 2010s, there's guitar music, but the guitar music on the radio, objectively, no offense to the Kings of Leon and the Black Keys and stuff like that, but the guitar music kind of fucking sucks. It's not exciting.
Yeah, no, yeah, for a minute there, which, it started with like the neighborhood. No, I don't want to say it started with the neighborhood. This is just my,
Yeah, but yeah, it becomes either it's very poppy like the
yeah,
neighborhood, or it was like stomp clappy, which like
guitar
is
became like a bow tie,
yeah. So like I think coming out of COVID, it's like, oh, getting the novelty of getting together and jamming, like of people in a room playing instruments together
Yeah,
loud with some feedback and shit. It kind of like it it feels fresh again.
yeah, for sure,
And
man.
now all you guys that started like fucking around with song ideas, and then like COVID ends and you start playing shows, like
Yeah.
now it's good. Now it's like now you guys have had like years to marinate. It's like the
And I
scene's
think that
really
also
getting
goes back
good.
to the accessibility of like song
Mhm.
recording. And, like I wrote that whole EP by myself,
It's
you know?
funny, like talk about like okay, early 2010s. Like after that, it's like the SoundCloud rap or things like that. Like one of the
Yeah.
big things there is like accessibility. Same thing. Like we're kind of
Yeah.
having the same moment here where it's like, wow, that's gonna be the
Yeah.
headline there.
It's all
Midwest emo, the new SoundCloud rap.
I think it really is. It really is. And Bandcamp is slowly figuring their stuff out, you know, slowly. More
Yeah, they're
people.
hiccuping.
Yeah, like, it's cool. They're staying true to the artist, like the artisanship of it, and trying, they're not doing streaming. It's all like buy this, buy from the music, stream this from the music, but you have to buy it at some point. Um, and so it's a slow burn, which is fair because like, they're trying to make it so everybody wins to an extent, and not cheat anybody out. And the road less traveled is what I hope that they're going through. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
At some point it's a business and they need to make money if they want to keep it
They're
afloat. But
they're doing okay. They make a couple missteps sometimes, but for the better part of, yeah, almost a couple decades, like they've
like,
been
could you imagine if Spotify did like a Bandcamp Friday and it's just like one day a month, all the streams just went
all.
straight to the artist?
And the thing is too with something like Spotify, there's no reason they couldn't do that and would buy, like you can run one 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 Friday like that from Spotify equals out like 10 days of ice ads and AI, you know what I mean?
Oh
Like
my
it kind
yeah.
of like from a business ethics, not ethic, but like PR standpoint,
Mine
it's like buy yourself some goodwill.
God, and my thing with Spotify, that's a whole can of words. Like, I don't know. I feel like if people give small artists shit for being on Spotify, yeah, Spotify's awful, but so are cars.
So are cars. So is Walmart. So is Amazon. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? So are the data farms that use water that your online boutique is on, like
yeah, and it's
it's a
like
very slippery slope.
it's awful, but like also this is like my job. Like I play music full time.
No, I get you. I had
Yeah.
the same thing like earlier where it's like, do we take this show off? And it's like, also like, what the fuck are me or you taking our music or our songs or our podcasts off of Spotify do? You know what I mean?
If like Beyonce did that, yeah,
Yeah.
that would probably make like a huge difference to an extent. She's not gonna lose like if she's gaining anything at all from that.
But
Uh,
even then, I think there's been a couple instances like that where like the Eagles and Garth Brooks and the Beatles and certain artists were very slow to get to streaming.
mhm.
And I swear, like as of a couple weeks ago, I saw something randomly like about that where like it didn't pay off for them kind of thing. Like they just kind of not so much
Yeah.
with the legacy are like artists are like the Beatles, but like Garth Brooks, for example, like kind of faded into obscurity for a while,
Well,
relative obscurity because you're not top of mind, you know?
yeah. Yeah. But it's like, do they really need that?
Yeah. I think Garth Brooks was fine either way.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not too worried
fine.
about
I
that
mean,
guy.
if you're trying to put out a record and like, you're trying to advertise for that, and that's really what Spotify is.
Yeah.
It's like
It's advertising.
it's
Yeah.
advertising.
Good
Maybe
way to look at it.
like maybe I'll make a little bit back from that. And like, I've put a lot of stuff into advertising, and not just for Spotify, but like all the streaming services. Um, and that's helped out tremendously, like, and it's like I feel like not that I've like made it, but I could tell for me personally, this was a milestone. Like I put stuff out, like I boost my posts so that people will see them and new people will see the music.
Mhm.
And every once in a while you'll get like some random hate comment that makes no sense. Like people trying to
Sick.
say that my music's AI. Like someone tried to say that like my music was AI because it all sounded slightly the same. And I was like, yeah, because it was written by the same person. Like what the heck do
You're
you
right.
expect
Yeah, it
by
was
that?
written by one guy. Like, yeah,
It was
it
written,
sounds
yeah,
similar.
like the same people. Of course the music's gonna sound slightly the same.
I didn't almost take that as a compliment.
Yeah, no, it's just like, and usually when people say dumb stuff like that, they usually immediately delete it because they realize how dumb it is. But
And they I think they feel dumb. Like my favorite is when if I get dumb comments, I'll respond very earnestly.
I,
Like, I'm sorry you didn't like it. You know what
dude,
I mean? And it's like right away people are like fuck.
um,
Like
I'm just so over negativity in general. Like, I just can't do it right now. Like,
I'm with you. I'm
yeah,
with you. That's beautiful.
but
Before we go, do you have anything important to tell these people that maybe we missed?
God, my most
Where they find you on the internet? Yeah, where they find you on the internet?
you can find
Do
me on
you
the internet.
endorse werewolfery? I meant to ask you that earlier. Do you endorse werewolfery?
Not at
What's
all.
this behind you? Is this one
There's
of
a
those sick
giant
ass like white
blanket
trash
behind
Native
me.
American blankets behind you?
Listen, so like I had no idea what to put behind me, and I was on the phone with my best friend like all day today, and I was like, how the heck do I set up for this interview right now? And I was like, I'm gonna put the wolf blanket, and like
The
about
wolf
2 minutes
blanket's
of doing
sick.
that. After 2 minutes of doing that, I was just like, damn it, I'm called Howling at the Earth, like not even making that connection.
You're like, it's too on brand.
It's still on brand. But no, if you want to find me, just look up Howling at the Earth. Don't look up Wayne Snow because there's a dude from Nigeria who I'm convinced stole my name and is a musician, and I think he
This
stole my name.
this
We're
fucking
putting
guy.
that out there now. I've kept that to myself for the longest time, except for a
I
private
was gonna say,
conversation.
yeah, a
Uh,
Yahoo boy, maybe even.
uh, oh my God, it's not the whole other thing that, anyways. But yeah, yeah, find me at Howling at the Earth. And I think what I want people to remember is that music is about. What does your hat say?
Bad bitches love Dear Cincinnati. Do you know my friends in Dear Cincinnati?
No.
They're a nice band. You got to get familiar if you want to be a
Oh,
bad
for sure.
bitch.
It's cool. That's one thing that's cool about TikTok. I definitely have found a bunch of really cool bands. Especially like,
Right? Yeah. I mean,
I get
yeah, like, I think actually I saw you on Instagram first. So yeah,
but what I want to leave with, remember that music is about connection. So when you listen to your favorite songs, know that people are behind that trying to convey a message, and if that resonates with you, share that.
beautiful.
Yeah, that's my my last thought.